The fifth part of your business model canvas is revenue streams. So where is this money going to come from? One of the important things to look at is that your customers, what are they willing to pay? When we're looking at value proposition, we talked about your minimum viable product. So what is the minimum price that they're willing to pay for your minimum viable product or your MVP? What are they currently paying for similar goods and services that exist in the market? What is the value that they expect on the product and services, and how are you ascribing the revenue to your product or service and translating that to the revenue stream? Is this your revenue? Is it going to be a one-off? Or is going to be a repeated source of revenue as you make the sales? So are you just making one-off sales, or you can make continued sales of your products and services? And it's very, very important to drill out what your exact revenue sources will be. Then one of the other things that is also important to think of in looking at your revenue streams is your pricing tactics. How are you going to price your product? What's the basis for pricing your product? After you've calculated the cost of producing the goods and developing it and taking it to the point of getting it to the channel where the customer will interface with it, how are you going to efficiently and appropriately price your product? Particularly for startups or new businesses, it's very important to think about this. One of the things that a lot of Nigerian entrepreneurs do is particularly when they're entering into a new market, their immediate entry strategy is always low price. Now, low price has its advantages and its disadvantages. At the end of the day, if you go in with a low price strategy and you're not properly looking at your costs at the end of the day, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You charge low prices, and yes, you may find customers who will be excited that there's a new entrant in the market who is charging lower price than all the other competitors are charging. However, if you can't keep up to it and then eventually discover that you have to increase your prices so as to meet up with your costs, you're going to disappoint your customers. You're going to lose that feel around customer relationships that we talked about in the beginning. So as you're thinking about your pricing tactics or how you go around defining your prices for your products and services, make sure that it's one that is sustainable. Make sure that it's one that, yes, even if it's a low price entry strategy you are adopting, make sure that it looks into the overall concept of your business model, and you don't price yourself too low and drive yourself out of the market in very short time. So the sixth phase of the business model canvas is the resources. As you can see, all the things we've talked about, they're literally building blocks that fit into one another. And what your key resources helps you to look at and detail on a high level perspective is really saying that, okay, I've defined the value proposition for my customer segment. I've defined revenue streams. I have defined customer relationship attributes that I want to develop. What are the key resources that will help me deliver on all of these things that I want to deliver? So for a good example will be if one of your value proposition and one of your approaches to your customer relationships is 24/7 customer service. What that will mean is that your key resources will be that you need to have someone on duty who is efficiently able to address customer service needs and inquiries 24/7, every minute of every hour of every day. So as you're looking to develop your key resources, go and look at what you've identified in your value proposition, in your customer relationships, in your channels, and drill down what are the resources that you're going to need that will help you deliver on these things that you've initially identified. Seventh part is the key activities, and key activities immediately follows key resources. So since you've defined your key resources, it goes on to say that you need to now detail out, also on a very high level, what are the key activities that your value proposition require to be able to get your goods and products to your customer service through a channel, what are the key activities that are going to go on within this channel? So whether it's a physical channel, geographical channel, whether you're talking about marketing locations, actual physical locations for selling points, social media selling and all of that, or whether you're talking about value propositions such as we talked about earlier on, if it's being customer service, what are the key activities, what are the key things that you would need to do that will help in the delivery of your value proposition through your channels to your customer segments. So the 8th part of your business model canvas looks at your key partners. One of the things about running a business anywhere, not just in Nigeria, is that at some point or the other, you would require partnerships to be able to get your value proposition or your goods and your products and services to your customer segments. And that's what key partners looks at. As you can see, the sign for this is a wedding band. So what are the partners that you would leverage on to be able to deliver your products and services, or even to be able to carry out your key activities and key resources? Once we've defined some of the things that we need around the key activities and resources, you as an entrepreneur may look at it and decide that it's not everything that you can efficiently or effectively or in a cost-effective way adapt in your business. So for instance, a lot of new businesses or startups that have to have a lot of delivery or logistic elements in the delivery of their goods and products to their customers need to rely on partnerships around the distribution segment. And one of the things that is very important in identifying these key partnerships and the kind of attributes required in the partners is that you may have created a fantastic good or product that meets the needs of your customer segment. If you choose the wrong partner, or you don't efficiently articulate the kind of partnerships you require for your delivery, you may get to a stage, and some of us have experienced this before, where even though the product left your business in the ideal state, it did not get to your target customer in the ideal state. And at the end of the day, when your customer is receiving this product or service, they just receive it as it's coming from you. They don't look at it and say, okay, there was another person involved in it. So it's very important when you look at key partners, to look at the key things within your resources and activities that you are going to be dependent on partners to perform. Who will be your key suppliers? Who will be your key off-takers or your distributors or your resellers? Are there certain elements within your key activities like customer service, like distribution, like sales, that you're going to have to be dependent on other partners? You need to list this out and properly articulate the kind of attributes that you're looking for in the kind of partners that will be able to get you to achieve the business model that you've designed for yourself. The last but not the least in your business model canvas is your cost structure. So we have all these 8 elements: your value proposition, your customer segments, your channels, your resources, your activities, your key partners. The last one, which is the cost structure, looks at the cost elements, particularly the most expensive cost elements. So to be able to deliver all of these things that you've articulated from 1 to 9, what is the cost implication? What is the cost implication? And I like that this is the last part to consider. And I think also that it's very important, because after you've defined the kind of products that you're looking to sell or the kind of service level that you're looking to deliver, at the end of the day, for you to be able to get revenue from it, you also should have calculated the costs. So what is the cost element of all these things that you've highlighted? Cost element of the partnerships, cost element of the activities, cost elements of the resources, cost elements of the channels, and even some of the aspects of the value, in fact, all the aspects of the value proposition. What is most expensive? What is affordable? Once you've articulated all of that, it gives you a better idea on things around your startup costs, your financial projections, when you're going to make money, how you're going to make money. You'll even look at things around your marketing strategy and your business plan at a whole. So we've gone through the 9 elements of the business model canvas. Like I said, and as you can see over the last couple of minutes, it really helps to give you a very good overview. And those are a lot of the critical questions that anybody who is willing to partner with you, anybody who is willing to invest in you, or anybody who even just wants to have a better overview on how your business is going to work, how you're going to create value, how you're going to deliver it to your customers, how you're going to get revenue at the end of the day. Your business model canvas in one page literally helps you to be able to have a very good overview of that. And I encourage every entrepreneur to be able to look at their businesses, particularly if you're starting out or you're thinking of expanding or creating a new product or service, to develop a business model canvas. In a lot of ways, for me, the business model canvas really also dovetails into your business plan at the end of the day, because it really gives you a very concise view. And in a lot of times, it even helps you to serve as a background in preparing and articulating your pitch deck, meetings with potential funders, meetings with potential team partners or people that you're looking to employ, because it gives you a very good conceptual overview of it. As you can see, we've also used a lot of pictures to help to bring to life on how all those 9 components connect and join with one another. I would encourage you to visit MSME Hub, and you can download a copy of the business model canvas template on our MSME Hub. Thank you.